Well, hey friends, welcome to another episode of Jumpseat Confessions. I am your host, Ashley. The very first episode, I asked you guys to tell me or send me DMs or whatever messages of what topics you would like for me to talk about. And the number one request that I kept getting was obviously, how do you become a flight attendant? And honestly, friends, I feel like I've answered this a million times, but a million and one, anything for you, friends. So we only have 10 minutes per usual. Let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that I would recommend, I don't know why my light just went out, but I think it looks like a little bit better like this. The first thing that you want to do is you want to know why you want to be a flight attendant. Why do you want to get into this industry? Because your reason is going to it's going to matter. Like, if you want to be a flight attendant because you want to travel for free, baby, this is not the industry for you. If you want to be a flight attendant because you want to make more money, this is not the industry for you. People who thrive in this industry and people who really do a good job as being a flight attendant, they have something called a servant heart. We genuinely like to serve. And you don't have to be like an extrovert. You don't have to be a social butterfly. Like me, child, I am a true introvert. Like, I know when I go to work, I know what I sign up for, so I do what I need to do. But my natural disposition is to be quiet, sit in a corner, and hear my thoughts. Like, I am not an extrovert by any means. So don't think that you need to be like this, this bubbly socialite, because you don't. You just have to genuinely want to serve people. You want to genuinely go above and beyond, and you want to do it without hearing any type of praise afterwards. You genuinely just want to help people, because obviously obviously traveling is very stressful, and it continues to get more stressful as the years go on. So the airlines, they want to hire people who are just genuine, kind-hearted individuals. All right. Then you want to, I believe the starting age to be a flight attendant, I want to say I think some are 18, others are 20. It's between 18 and 21, but I want to say 21 to be honest. So definitely research the airline that you want to apply for to see the requirements. You want to already have your resume up to date for at least 10 years. The industry, they're going to ask you for a 10-year history. So you want to get that up to date, and your dates need to be spot on. Like, you can't be guessing, because I actually think they call and do like a cross reference. I know my first airline, they did. If you have any type of gap, not working, everyone had COVID happening to them, so it affected everyone's life. If that was your situation, you want to account for all of the breaks in your work history. And that doesn't disqualify you. They want to be able to look at your resume and know what you've been doing for the last 10 years. And then you want to figure out what airline do you want to work for. If you don't really have a favorite or a choice, apply to them all. The main lines are going to be American, United, Delta. I'll throw in JetBlue, and also I'll throw in Southwest. But then you also have Frontier, and then you have your regionals. I know just off the top of my head, there's Commute Air, SkyWest, Envoy, Republic. I'm going to actually put a list of main lines here, and then I'll do regionals here. So the difference between the two, I may do that in another video. But if you just want to get in the industry, just get in there. Regionals will be your best pick because they're always hiring. It's a lot easier to get on with the regional. Y'all. It's a lot easier to get on with the regional, but the pay is significantly low, so that is something to think about. And the regional hubs are typically in your smaller cities. Now, speaking of hubs and where you live in cities, you don't have to live where you are based. You can do what is called commute. I'll discuss that in another episode. So you want to make sure that your resume is up to date. You want to make sure that you want to know where you want to work, what airlines, and then if you're just waiting for that airlines to open up as far as like the hiring portal, A good thing for y'all to do is to go to that specific airline, join their work career or career builder, or they have some type of career page where you can make an account. And once that position is, why does this keep happening? Once that position is hiring, you are going to get a link. Now, once they are hiring, you don't have days to like figure out your life. You don't have days to, oh, I'll just wait to do it next week. No, you need to do it right then and there, because there are thousands and thousands of people trying to apply for the same position as you. So once you have submitted your resume, the next thing that you need to do is wait. You just wait. And I know waiting is just not what we need right now, but waiting could be a couple of days. It could be a couple of weeks. For me, it was almost a year, 6 months. I had actually forgot that I applied to my first carrier. So waiting is definitely a part of the hiring process. Now, so let's go back to mainline and regional. So for me, I think about the mainline as your universities, your big schools. Regionals are more like your community college. You don't have to like go to a regional first to get to a mainline. There are thousands of people that have the opportunity to go straight to mainline. I did. My first carrier was a mainline. But ironically, after my mainline, I went to 2 regionals, and those were the best experience that I've had in my career besides my current carrier. So it kind of just depends on who you are as a person, and who you are as a person will depend on where you feel like you will be a good fit. For me, my current carrier, I feel like they're just just chill. They're relaxed. Everybody's family, like, and I just feel like that's me. I'm just a chill, just real cool little individual. But if you want more like of your, I don't want to use the wrong words, but like, every airline has a different expectation, and they want you to meet that expectation. So if you feel like you have issues with possibly being micromanaged, or there's too many rules, there are some airlines that are very strict with their uniform and their appearance policy, their attendant policy. Actually, we are all strict on the attendance policy. But you just kind of want to do research on what the aesthetic looks like for each airline. And those that are already in the industry, you know what type of person American is looking for. You know what type of person Delta is looking for, babe. We all know what type of person Delta is looking for. You know what type of person Southwest is looking for. So every airline has not a specific, but they want to make sure that they pick someone who can be parallel to their vision and their values and their guidelines. So after you do all your waiting, you may hear something, you may not. And if you don't hear something, you don't stop applying. This is not something that you apply once and that you're done. You keep on applying until you get where you want to go. If you have to apply to the regionals first just to get in the industry, and then apply while you're in that regional carrier, you can do that. When I was with my first regional, I remember these 2 girls, while we were still in training, they had interviews with Delta. And as soon as we graduated from our regionals, they got hired with Delta and went on to a whole nother training. And they're still with Delta to this day. So you just have to, if this is something that you truly and genuinely want, you can't stop until you get what you want. That is what weeds out who wants it the most and who doesn't want it. So if you're wondering like, man, every time I try and like get on, like I don't never hear anything, keep trying. I applied with my current carrier 3 times, maybe, I think twice. I think I applied twice before like I got on. And, this was always my dream airline, and I wasn't going to stop applying until I got where I wanted to be. So you guys have any more questions, or if there's any other things that you want me to talk about, I think on the next episode, I will go more in detail about mainline, regionals, commuting, and all that good stuff. All right, friends. Bye.